Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me. We're going to Genesis 1, verse 3. This is 5 Minutes of Faith. I want to talk to you this week about the light. When God created light, what exactly did He create? Now, some would assume, well, it's the sunlight. You know, it's all that illuminates, or some may think, well, the light is good and darkness is evil. And while those things are certainly have truth in them, I believe that the light God created, and when it refers to the light in the Bible, it's more than just light shining out of darkness. Let's take a look here in Genesis 1, verse 3. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So here in day one, people may assume, well, that's when God created the sun and the moon. And this is when the light shine on the earth. Well, if that's the case, then go down to verse 16, because several days later, it says, "Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good." Well, what happened on that day? Well, here's what I believe it is. That on this day, right, what I just read, is when God created the sun and moon. But on day one, the light that He created was not just a shining light, but it's a revelation. Think about what light does. When you have the lights off, you can't see anything in the room. You don't know what's in the room. You have a lack of knowledge, a lack of awareness. But as soon as you turn a light on, even just one flicker of a flame will bring enough light that you can see. There's a revelation, there's an understanding now, a knowledge of what's around you. And I believe that this is the light, the knowledge of God, the revelation of who He is. That on day one, God said, "Let there be light." He's saying, let me be revealed to creation. Let creation know me. This, I believe, is the light. Now, and here's an example of this in Luke chapter 2, verse 30. Simeon was promised to see the Messiah before he would die. And he says in verse 30, "For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared before the face of all peoples, a light to bring revelation to the Gentiles, and the glory of your people Israel." There he spells it out very clearly. Light is the revelation of God, the revelation of Jesus. Here's another example in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 6. It says, "For it is the God who commanded light to shine out of darkness, who has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ." What is this light that God created? It is His knowledge, the revelation of who He is, the revelation of what He's done. So what is darkness? Darkness is a lack of understanding. It's ignorance of God. It is being unaware of God. It is ungodliness. So the light is separate from the darkness. Now, we're going to talk about Jesus being the light of the world the next time we meet. But that's exactly what Jesus came, was to bring the revelation of who God is and His plan for mankind. Listen, we need to increase in the knowledge of God. That's light shining in our heart. Go to Colossians 1, verse 9. He says, "For this reason we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to ask that you may be filled with the knowledge of His will, in all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that you may walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing Him, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God." Notice this is Paul's prayer. He also prayed that the eyes of our understanding would be enlightened. What does that mean? That we'd have a greater understanding of God. Grow in our knowledge of God. See, light is knowing God. Darkness is not knowing God. It's being separated from God. It's having a complete unawareness and ignorance about God. But we have the light of God, the revelation of who God is. Now, we're growing in that. Amen. But yes, we have the light that God created in our hearts. Amen. Thank you for being with me today. This has been another 5 Minutes of Faith.